top story that we are tracking here on India Today at 6 p.m. Prime. The grim milestone of more than 1 lakh cases. India, for the first time, has crossed that number right from the time the pandemic knocked on the doors of India.
India's grim COVID milestone. Over 1 lakh cases for the first time ever. Second nation after the United States with a dubious record. Mini lockdown, curfew and curbs are back. Maharashtra shuts down on weekends. Pan-India COVID explosion. Scary virus-free run.
All right, so let me very quickly, right at the top of the show, in fact, tell you about the overall numbers in India, and the numbers are quite scary, ladies and gentlemen. Active cases now stand at 7,41,830. Death toll, right from the time the pandemic started in the country, is now at 1,65,101. Imagine, more than 1 lakh lives have been lost. Recoveries, 1,16,82,136. This is the latest as far as the current COVID tally in the country is concerned. But the biggest problem right now, as I was telling you right at the beginning, India has recorded its worst tally. The grim number of 1 lakh has been crossed in just 24 hours. It was the daily COVID-19 cases which were recorded yesterday. India reported 1,03,558 new COVID cases on 17 September last year. If you just take a look at this graphic, the highest number so far was 97,894 cases. That record has been broken, and we are now the only country other than United States of America which has reported more than 1 lakh cases in a single day. Okay, I just want to very quickly also tell you the numbers for the top 5 worst hit states as far as the COVID-19 pandemic is concerned. Maharashtra remains the biggest worry. In fact, the numbers that we are talking about, over 1 lakh, more than half of that number is coming in from Maharashtra. At this point of time, active cases in Maharashtra is at 4,31,896. Karnataka at number 2 with active cases 39,101. Chhattisgarh has 38,450 active cases, Kerala 28,206 and Punjab at 25,314 active cases reported from the state. All right, so state after state, we are saying the numbers are jumping up. The overall tally in India at its worrying highest. But is the response of the government at the same level? The Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, is going to address another or is going to sit together with the chief ministers and will be chairing another important meeting to review the situation of COVID-19 on 8th of this month. But remember, that has not stopped the political parties, including top leaders from the Prime Minister downwards to party leaders from every other party and to senior ministers, those who have been going across the 5 states which are right now in the spate in the middle of the election season. Thousands and thousands of people are coming in there with little to no COVID protocol being followed. Tanushree Pandey, my colleague, joining me with more details on this story. Tanushree, I was just telling our viewers that the grim number of 1 lakh has been breached. This is the highest ever since the pandemic has begun. Second wave is proving to be tougher, but is the response of the government at the same level?
That's right. As you rightly mentioned, India has recorded 1 lakh cases, and that has happened ever since the pandemic has struck since 2020. So that's a grave concern for the entire country. And as far as the government's concerned, Ankit, Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan is going to hold a high-level meeting with the chief ministers of 11 states. And these are states which have been categorized as states of grave concern on the account of their high rate of COVID cases and the high death numbers. Now, some of the few states are Maharashtra, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, and Delhi. Now, these are the states which basically form 90%, more than 90% of the overall COVID cases of this country, and 90.5% of the overall COVID deaths in this country. So definitely it's a very, very grave concern for the entire government as well. They are trying all they can, or they're trying their best and doing every bit possible to keep the situation at bay. So, and that is why Health Minister Harshvardhan is going to hold a high-level meeting. Apart from that, Prime Minister Modi is also going to take stock of the entire COVID situation on April 8th. He's going to hold a meeting with the chief ministers and the legislators of these states. So let's see how the situation, if it comes to, if we can control this situation on time or not. But as of now, what the government is continuously requesting all the citizens of this country is to mask up, wear the mask all the time, use sanitizer, and
yes, the basic COVID hygiene has to continue. And Tanushree, as Tanushree was pointing out, just go around your locality, just go to India Gate in the national capital or any other place. You'll see hundreds and thousands of people. The problem is, what do you tell these people? How can the government go and tell people don't congregate when the same political parties and the ministers from the government are going to all the various states campaigning with thousands and thousands of people? In fact, Hemanta Biswa Sarma was heard saying on one of our subsidiary London Top that there is no need to wear a mask. Is that a responsible statement from a senior leader and the health minister of Assam? I want to move now. Tanushree, thank you for joining us to the state of Maharashtra. Now, Maharashtra continues to reel under massive COVID-19 infection surge. The number of cases in Maharashtra, ladies and gentlemen, are contributing to more than 50% of the daily tally as far as the country is concerned. Now, the state in the last 24 hours has recorded 57,074 fresh cases of COVID-19, its highest single-day tally since the beginning of the pandemic. The state also reported 222 lives lost because of the COVID-19 pandemic on Sunday. The financial capital, Mumbai, too, saw the highest spike of infections since the outbreak of the pandemic. The city recorded 11,000 new infections and 25 deaths on Sunday. With this spike, the doubling rate in the city now stands at 42 days. It is not only Mumbai that has been recording the infection explosion. Pune reported 6,225 positive cases and 44 deaths in the last 24 hours. Nagpur recorded 4,110 positive cases with 47 deaths. Maharashtra currently has 57% of the case load of the entire country.
जो पहिला त्रास जाणवायचा सुरुवातीच्या काळामध्ये तेवढा त्रास जाणवत नाही. आताही व्हेंटिलेटर आपल्याकडे उपलब्ध आहे. फक्त ऑक्सिजनच्या बद्दल मात्र ऑक्सिजनचे बेड हे मोठ्या प्रमाणावर आपण खासगी हॉस्पिटलची पण मदत घेतोय. सरकारचे जे हॉस्पिटल्स आहेत त्याची पण आपण सूचना दिलेली आहे आणि तिथं कुठल्याही परिस्थितीमध्ये ऑक्सिजन बेड कमी पडू नये.
So in view of the massive spike that COVID-19 we are seeing in Maharashtra, the government has imposed certain curbs, not a full lockdown but a partial lockdown, and many other restrictions have come back in the state of Maharashtra. As per the new norms, sitting in restaurants and bars will not be allowed. Home delivery executives will need to be vaccinated. Theatres will remain closed. Only essential services will be allowed to remain functional after 8 p.m. so night curfew comes in. A weekend lockdown has also been announced in the state. The government has further ordered to shut the playgrounds, parks and beaches. School and colleges will remain shut except 10th and 12th grades. Private coaching centers will also be shut. Only 20 people will be allowed for funerals. The SOPs for industries are yet to be released as far as Maharashtra goes.
हमें लगता है ये निर्णय लेने के बाद निश्चित रूप से जिस तरह से कोविड के केसेस बढ़ रहे हैं कुछ न कुछ राहत मिलेगी. देखिए, जो SOP जारी की गई है उसमें फाइन लगाने का भी प्रोविजन किया गया है। जो भी व्यवस्थाएं हैं अगर नियमों का पालन नहीं करेगी तो उन पे कड़क कार्रवाई की जाएगी। बहुत सारे ऐसे भी नियम बनाए गए हैं कि साल भर के लिए जो भी स्थापना है उन्हें सील भी किया जा सकता है। आज रात के बाद कड़ाई से सारे नियमों का पालन महाराष्ट्र में होगा।
All right, going across to my colleague Vidya, who's joining me with more details from Mumbai. Vidya, a very, very grim situation. 57% case load of the entire country. Almost every major city in Maharashtra now, in fact, coming up with their worst ever tally. But we still saw people on the beaches. We still saw the markets, especially in the morning, the vegetable and fruit markets completely crowded. What is the government now planning to do?
Well, the government has already come out with its SOP. Remember, there is almost a near lockdown, and which is the reason why people are not really happy with this. Especially the traders, you know, the merchant, the retailers, the shopkeepers, they have been extremely unhappy and have been expressing their anguish to the government of Maharashtra, saying that, you know, they had just recovered from the entire drawback that they had suffered during the lockdown, and this is another lockdown that they are being imposed with because only essential services will be operational. The fact that, you know, even auto rickshaw drivers are expected to actually get a COVID test, which will be there for the next 15 days valid, and then again a test has to be done by those auto rickshaw drivers. Most people think that this is not viable, and that is the reason why they think that the government should really come up with a better option. But considering the fact that, yes, the crowds are still there, you know, we do see a lot of people still hanging around in spite of the many lockdowns orders that have been passed. Over the weekend, we did see quite a lot of number of people on the beaches, as you pointed out, Ankit. But remember, the lockdown really starts at 8 tonight, and which is the reason why Maharashtra government is really hoping that this entire imposition of near lockdown that they are putting through, people will follow it, and there will be a drastic, decline in the number of COVID cases.
Drastic decline. We are hoping that happens soon. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the situation that more or less have been created by ourselves. The numbers were down, and since the restrictions started waning off, we have once again seen how irresponsible our behavior has been. There is a need to break the chain immediately. All of us need to play our part. Thank you so much, Vidya, for joining us with all those details. I was telling you about the strict measures that have been taken by Maharashtra. Let me just recall those measures for the benefit of our viewers and other states which are also come up with their own set of rules in view of the COVID cases. So Maharashtra, the weekend lockdown has been put in place. Meanwhile, night curfew from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. is in place. Bars, restaurants, theatres, salons have all been shut. Section 144 has been imposed in Mumbai, Delhi. In fact, stricter curbs at public places. Massive checking is going on as we speak in the national capital for people, those who are not wearing the mask. Remember, even in Delhi, more than 4,000 cases have been reported in the last 24 hours. So people in Delhi also can't take things lightly. Meanwhile, in Uttar Pradesh, 20 houses have been sealed for every positive patient. The RWAs has shut down sporting activities. Crowd controls at malls and restaurants is being done. Rajasthan, night curfew between 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. has been imposed. Schools will remain shut till class 9th. Multiplexes, theatres, gyms have been shut till April 19th. RT-PCR test must for all those who are coming into the state of Rajasthan. Haryana, only 200 allowed for indoor activities, only 500 allowed for outdoor activities. So most states right now, ladies and gentlemen, are putting in certain amount of curbs to try and deal with the situation which is prevailing right now.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.